Hi, welcome to another episode of the Out of Office Club. You might be able to hear it from my voice, but I am a little bit sick. That's also partly the reason why this podcast goes out a little later. I was traveling for the past 2 days and I'm not feeling my best. Definitely got a cold, tiny bit of a fever, just feeling definitely not optimal. But here we are. I am currently in El Nido, which is on a different island in the Philippines. It is beautiful. There's actually like mountains. It's very great. It's really nice. But I figured because I am a little bit sick, maybe it would actually be a good time to talk about what it is like to get sick while you're traveling, how to deal with it, kind of my recommendations on the mindset, but also some practical tips like my health insurance. So, I think for me, one of the major things that happens when I get sick is mainly when I have not been able to sleep for a while, like not that well. And then in hot countries, it's also a lot to do with the heat outside and the air conditioning every time you go somewhere inside. I've also probably been overdoing it a little bit in the last couple weeks. I also got sick on the cruise, which is less than 2.5, 3 weeks ago. And I felt a bit the same. So I think I maybe just never really got over it 100%. And then, of course, here, or at least in Siargao, where I just was, I was playing paddle every day. I was not necessarily eating super healthy. And the last couple of days definitely didn't sleep very well. Maybe 5 hours a night. There's a lot of things keeping me up. The air conditioning was very loud. There was a lot of roosters around that started at like 4 a.m. I also just stayed out a little bit longer than I should have. So all those things combined mean that I now feel less than great. And for the past 2 days, I've been traveling. So to get from Siargao here, you have to take 2 flights and a 6-7 hour bus ride. Both went completely fine, didn't have any issues. But they were just long days. And then last night, I for some reason was convinced that I had booked myself a hotel in El Nido for 3-4 nights. I hadn't. So I arrived yesterday, and even when I was checking the location after my bus arrived to get a tuk-tuk or a trike, I think they call it here, to my stay, I realized that it said hostel, not a hotel. And I was like, shit, what did I actually book? And I checked, and I'd booked a 4-dorm hostel. So, not the worst, but I was like so looking forward to having my own space and like being able to relax and sleep well. Little did I know that me a couple days ago decided to save money and stay in a hostel because it would be only for 3 nights. Well, I arrived, immediately asked if they had a private room. They said no. It was also a bit like late already. It was like 3-4 p.m. I was tired. I was like, it's fine. It's 4-bed dorm. I'll be okay. Did I sleep much last night? No. So here I am anyway in a hotel. Only now I paid double. So let that be your lesson too. Sometimes just do splurge on a hotel if you need to. Okay, if you need your own space, it is worth it, especially if you're sick. Don't do that to yourself in hostels. Even just the fact that my roommate decided to change the setting of the AC at 2 a.m., making it extremely hot in the room. You don't want to deal with that when you've got fever. So book yourself a hotel. But anyway, getting sick on the road, it is part of it. It happens, especially when you're traveling for a long time, and it sucks. But it's just part of it. And when I say, getting sick, I mean physically sick, and that is fixable if you have a good place to stay. And definitely if you feel like you're getting sick, make sure that you find yourself one, book your own room, splurge on that a little bit because you need it. You need to sleep well, you need to do that. But of course there will also be days where just mentally you're not doing so well, days where you might feel a bit more down, a bit more sad. And I think it's good to keep in mind that all of those days, whether you're physically not so well, or you just mentally don't feel great, are all really normal. And to also remember that those days happen when you're back home as well. I know that they can be a lot tougher when you're in a foreign country or when you're on your own, because you feel more lonely. It's harder to find someone that might be able to help you. It's harder to even just the basic things, like if you want to order food or if you want to find medicine, or all of those things are a bit harder when you're abroad. But it's all temporary, right? And generally in a couple of days you get over it, you feel better, and you can continue. But it doesn't make it more shit. Just remember that it is temporary and it will get better. So yeah, my tips on that is really, if you have a bad day, remember that that is temporary, that those also happen. But if you're at home, if you're in, the country you grew up in, if you're with family or friends, they can happen anywhere. And it's not generally because you are traveling that you feel bad. Unless, of course, it is, but that's a different story. Those days are just shitty, and you just get through them just like any other day. And then you'll soon probably also find back the excitement in traveling. And if you physically start not feeling okay, really try and get some medicine before you even feel bad. So I realized yesterday that I was running out of ibuprofen or paracetamol, so I got some more. I got something for cold, just the basics really, but it's really good to have those on hand all the time, because you never know when you're gonna get a headache or start feeling sick or get fever. And sometimes that happened on just bad moments, right? When you're just about to fly or just about to travel for a couple hours, and then it's always good to have those, even if it's just for other people. Have that kind of basic medicine on hand would be my tip. And I mean, for me personally, I've also just been traveling a bit too quick in the past days. Been doing a lot, moving a lot, playing a lot of sports, not eating very well, not sleeping well, and then you get sick, right? Well, what a shocker. So I think it's maybe when traveling even more important to really take care of yourself, make sure that you eat well, that you stay healthy, just because you have many more things around you that you might not be as used to, different foods, different environment, a lot more people, I would say, that you're around sometimes too. And all of those things make you more susceptible to getting colds. Like, again, also the heat, the AC, all of those things just make your, I guess, lower your like immune system too, with poor sleep and poor eating habits. But yeah, it is part of it, and those days suck, but it is okay. So that is what I recommend practically. And then, of course, a main thing is to get good health insurance. Like, I know, like right now I won't need it. I'm just a bit of a cold, but having a good health insurance does really make a difference. I mean, even on the boat, on the cruise that I did, I had to go to the hospital, which they do have on a boat, which I didn't know. But then it's good to know, okay, even here I'm covered and I can go to the hospital if I need to, regardless of where I am in the world, and I can get looked at. And I even asked him to do extra tests and to, make sure I was okay. And he was like, are you sure? Do you even want the medicine? I was like, hell yes. Because I know that most of it will be covered by my insurance. So in terms of insurances, I think it is really important that you check where they're valid, because my Dutch health insurance would not cover me abroad if I was abroad for more than 90 consecutive days, which of course I am all the time. So it would not actually cover me abroad. So really, really check that. If you have an insurance from back home, make sure that they actually cover you abroad for extended periods of times. The same actually goes for travel insurance. Don't think that just because you have a travel insurance right now at home that it will be valid if you travel for long periods, because often they don't. They'll say the maximum of 2 or 3 months, and then you have to go back to your home country for it to, keep active or something stupid. So make sure you check that. So the kind of countries where it covers you, the duration of your travels, if that even matters. For me, it doesn't. And what they cover. And of course, that you can change or decide on for yourself. There's two health insurances that I can personally recommend that I've heard, not gonna lie, mixed reviews on, both of them. But I have also personally used both of them, and I have had good experiences. The one is AXA, AXA. They do health insurances, and they don't really care where you are or how long, as long as it's not the US, where I'm not going anyway. They cover about 80% of everything I do. Some things are 100% covered, but I went to the dentist in Peru and they covered 80% of everything, which was amazing. I still have to send my bill from the cruise, actually. Good reminder. But I think they're pretty good. Not the cheapest, but I'm happy. And they cover dental, which is important to me. And then the other one is SafetyWing, which again, I've heard mixed reviews about, but I did use them for a while until they, for some reason, decided to no longer cover dental. Although right now, I think they put it back in their standard coverage, or you can upgrade to that. I'm not exactly sure. So I have been thinking about maybe switching again. But those are, I think, just generally two good ones to look into. But do your own research on what you need, what you want, how big you want your coverage, your budget, all of that makes a difference. But it is just really important to have this health insurance. Again, it's different from a travel insurance. Your travel insurance costs or covers you in case of accidents or lost luggage, or when things go wrong when traveling. Like they could fly me out, for example, if something happens in the country, like if there's a safety issue. My health insurance just makes sure that I can get to the hospital wherever. My travel insurance doesn't necessarily cover that. And even then, even if they both cover it, that might be even better, just because then you can pick which one you go to. I just think it's important to have both, not just one of them. So yeah. I have also met people that might have gotten sick halfway and did decide to go home. And I think that is a very valid thing to do, especially if you got quite sick or if you really feel bad, or if you just need longer to recover. 100% fine to go home. Just make sure that you try and get yourself in an environment where you can actually get better. Right now, I'm trying to do that, although I'm not doing a very good job at it, because yes, today I'm in a hotel, but for tomorrow I've already got a tour booked, a full day tour through the islands here in El Nido, which does look beautiful, and I'm not going to cancel it unless I feel a lot worse tomorrow, but I don't think so, because I still feel about the same, maybe even slightly better. And then on Friday, I'm probably going to go to some beach somewhere. And then on Saturday, I've actually got something really exciting planned, which I'm sure if you've been to the Philippines, you can guess what that is. But I'm going to talk about that more on my Instagram. But yeah, I think that kind of covers what I wanted to talk about for this episode. I know it is short, but honestly, it's been a lot trying to get myself to record this podcast. I think that is even another thing that I didn't even think about yet. But yeah, I also have to work, and working for yourself and freelancing and then getting sick is tough, because it still means that even though I feel like awful, I still have work to do. So I've been working this afternoon. I'm going to work a bit more this evening, and that is rough, but it's in those days where you just have to be okay with doing the minimum for a bit and knowing that you're going to have to work a lot harder in the next couple of days, but that's okay. And it's also why I'm such a big fan of working when you can, because you never know if for whatever reason, you get sick, Wi-Fi doesn't work anymore, something breaks, you do a last minute tour, then at least you have time for that because you did a lot of work when you could. So yeah, that's... Getting sick sucks no matter where you are. It's just something you have to get through. It's part of the travel experience. Probably it happens even more when you're traveling than when you're at home, just because of all the things around you. But you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Uh, I'll be fine. I'll probably feel better tomorrow. I know I will. So let me know if you have any other questions about health insurance, about getting sick when traveling, any questions, any comments, just let me know. Again, sorry for the short episodes. I'll be back on like 100% next week. But anyway, thank you so much for listening or watching. If you want to know more about the digital nomad life, if even though I just told you about how awful it is to get sick while traveling, you still feel like digital nomad life might be for me, and I would really like to change my life and maybe travel full time while I work remote, have a look on my website. I've just released a small PDF ebook where I explain how to get your first paying client or your first or earn your first €1,000 remote online. And I think it's a really good resource to get if you're thinking about this life but you don't know where to start, how to get your first client, how to set everything up, then that ebook is perfect. Anyway, on my website, I have a lot of free resources as well. Discount codes through like affiliate links and all of that. So definitely have a look. I'll put a link everywhere in the description. It's my name, stellasantiero.com. Have a look if you want. And then I want to thank you for listening again. And I will see you again next week. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.